going on. Joining us, Democratic Congressman John Garamendi of California. He's a member of the House Armed Services Committee. Congressman, I've got a lot of stuff I want to go through with you, but let's talk about these ISIS sympathizers here. Supposedly they may. This is a repeat may. They may have been behind at least 15 airline threats in recent days. This according to Reuters, warning that the flights were carrying some form of chemical weapons. And as you know, on Monday, two U.S. F-15 fighter jets had to escort one of those planes coming into New York. It was supposedly threatened. What have you learned about this? What is going on here?
Well, I think there's two things, one of which is very, very troublesome, and that is that there may be a real legitimate threat on any one of those airplanes. The other is economic chaos, concern, and fear that they're trying and successfully breeding all across the United States with these threats. We've often seen these crying wolf episodes in the past. We're going to see more in the future. But then we have to be very, very careful that there really is a wolf or not out there. And I don't mean you, Wolf Blitzer. Yeah. But we're concerned about this. So we need to be aware of what is happening. But also we need to be wise. And we've gone through all the way from 9/11, aware of potential threats. We used to have the red, orange levels, yellow levels of concern. I think all of us need to be watching carefully and aware. And yeah, we're going to see these kinds of threats coming down in the future.
Because the question is, and it's a significant one, are these threats against these airliners coming in mostly from overseas flights coming in? Is it just simply a hoax or whatever? Somebody think it's fun to get everybody crazy, if you will, and get these F-15s scrambling as these planes come in? Or are they testing to see how it unfolds in case they're plotting something a lot more sinister? Do you have a sense of what's going on in this area right now?
Well, I would suppose it might be both. Certainly by putting in a false threat, that creates concern, that makes everybody scramble, it upsets the normal system. You may see, again, the scrambling of jet fighter planes to escort airplanes in. All of those things upset the normal rhythm of economic and social life. And certainly that is and has been one of the techniques used by terrorists and others who just want to cause trouble. But it could also be a possibility of testing and watching for the response and trying to find the weak spot that might exist. And so from our point of view, we need to be very much aware of what we are facing on the military, on the police side, and on the various intelligence agencies.
And if it is a hoax, somebody thinking they're having some fun, they should be fully aware this is a crime. They could wind up spending years in jail if they do this. So they should. This is not simply having some fun at the expense of the United States military or whatever. This is a serious potential crime. You're going to go to jail for a long time if you're caught doing this. Congressman, there's a Georgia man who pleaded guilty today for providing support to ISIS. He was arrested at the Atlanta airport after he purchased a ticket to fly to Turkey. How will the FBI change the targeting of these individuals based on these most recent developments? Because it seems almost every other day or so, somebody is being picked up in the United States for trying to hook up with ISIS.
Actually, that's a very good thing, that we're finding them, that we're picking them up. There may be some that slip through. But what we do know is that they are in communication. We discussed some time ago the way in which it often happens with the Twitter account. That is perfectly legitimate for the police agencies, FBI, NSA, and others to monitor those. Those are open source. Gather up the names of the accounts and the individuals, and then proceed to watch them, quite possibly with an appropriate court order. If that's the case, we know where they are, and that's a good thing, to know where they are, to know who they are. And if they're getting on an airplane, well, then you just escort them off to the local prison.
Congressman, I want you to stand by. We have much more to talk about, including what's going on in Iraq right now, this war against ISIS, and some now calling for what they call a three-state solution in Iraq. We'll be right back.
Joseph A. Bank presents the Summer Preview Sale. 70% off all signature suits, sport coats, and blazers. Plus 60% off all short-sleeve sport shirts, polos, and shorts.